Millions of Americans have seen it. Every year, more than 2 million visitors travel to South Dakota to witness one of the most iconic landmarks in the United States. 4 presidents, 60-foot faces carved into a mountain, a symbol of freedom, leadership, and American greatness. But what if I told you that behind this national treasure lies a story that many Americans never learned in school? A story of broken promises, stolen land, and a controversy that continues to this day. This is the untold history of Mount Rushmore. The story begins in the 1920s. South Dakota was looking for a way to attract tourists and boost its economy. State historian Doane Robinson had a bold idea. He wanted a giant mountain sculpture that would bring visitors from across America. To make that dream a reality, sculptor Gutzon Borglum was hired. Borglum envisioned something far bigger than anyone had imagined. Instead of local heroes, he wanted the faces of 4 presidents who shaped the nation. George Washington represented the birth of America. Thomas Jefferson symbolized growth and expansion. Abraham Lincoln represented unity during the Civil War. And Theodore Roosevelt stood for progress in modern America. Construction officially began in 1927. For the next 14 years, workers blasted and carved the mountain using dynamite and drills. Nearly 90% of the sculpture was created using controlled explosions. It was one of the most ambitious engineering projects of its time, but this is where the story becomes far more complicated. Long before Mount Rushmore existed, the area was part of the Black Hills. The Black Hills are sacred to the Lakota Sioux people. For generations, these mountains were deeply connected to their culture, history, and spiritual beliefs. In 1868, the United States government signed the Fort Laramie Treaty. The treaty recognized the Black Hills as belonging to the Lakota Nation. On paper, the land was protected, but everything changed when gold was discovered in the region. Thousands of miners rushed into the area. Soon, the U.S. government took control of the Black Hills despite the treaty. For many Native Americans, this was not just a land dispute, it was a broken promise. And Mount Rushmore would later be built directly on land they considered sacred. To many Americans, Mount Rushmore represents national pride. It celebrates leaders who helped build the United States. But to many Native Americans, the monument tells a very different story. Imagine seeing a giant monument built on land your ancestors fought to protect. Land that was promised to your people through a legal treaty. That is why some Native American groups view Mount Rushmore as a symbol of loss rather than victory. The debate has continued for decades. Supporters argue that Mount Rushmore honors American history and should be preserved as a national symbol. Critics argue that the monument overlooks the history of the people who lived there first. This disagreement has become one of the most important conversations surrounding American history and identity. In 1980, the issue reached the highest court in the country. The United States Supreme Court ruled that the Black Hills had been taken illegally from the Lakota people. The court awarded financial compensation worth hundreds of millions of dollars. But there was a surprising response. Many Lakota leaders refused the money. They argued that the issue was never about money. For them, it was about the land itself. Even today, the compensation remains largely unclaimed. The dispute continues to be discussed across the United States. Today, Mount Rushmore stands as one of America's most famous landmarks. Millions visit every year. For some, it represents freedom, leadership, and national achievement. For others, it serves as a reminder of historical injustice and broken treaties. Both perspectives exist side by side, and understanding both sides may be the key to understanding America's complex history. Because history is rarely simple, it is often a story of triumph and tragedy at the same time. Mount Rushmore is more than a mountain carving. It is a symbol that means different things to different people. What do you think? Is Mount Rushmore a celebration of American history, or does it represent a deeper controversy that America still needs to confront? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this journey into American history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for more stories from the history of the United States. Thanks for watching.